guys, it's that time of the year again where the horses are starting to get really fluffy, and I've just decided that I'm going to clip mine this week, so I thought I'd do a video about what clippers I use and any tips and tricks I have on how to clip. So I use the Lister shearing clippers, and they're a cordless clipper, so they just come with a battery, and they have a couple of batteries in each pack, and it just clips onto this little belt here, and that means that I'm portable and I can move with the horse and in and out of their legs without having to worry about a power cord. And the battery lasts a decent amount of time. You can definitely get 1 or 2 horses done. The other thing that I like about the Lister clippers is that they're really lightweight and they don't make as much noise as a traditional clipper. They got a really good set of blades on that stay nice and sharp, and they do a really good job of clipping the horses in and out of the legs. They're a good size, and this is what I've been using for the last couple of years, and I really like them. So before you actually clip the horse, I think it's really good, like the week before, to get the clippers out, especially if it's not a horse that's been clipped before, or you haven't clipped that particular horse before, just to be able to run it over their body first without it on, and then putting it on, just to make sure that they're going to be nice and comfortable, because some horses are ticklish in certain areas, so Enzo's ticklish under the belly. Just to make sure that they're going to be happy, and if you've never clipped the horse before, maybe just give you an indication on how they're going to be and where their problem areas might be. So there's many different types of clips you can do, and from there it really depends on what horse I'm clipping. So I'd like to be able to fully clip all of them. So Dex is really good with clipping, so he gets a full clip. But obviously some of them have some problem areas which we can't get to. So Enzo, as I said, he's really ticklish under the belly. So I try and leave his belly on, and also when I clip him, he gets like a girth rash. So we usually generally leave his belly portion on. And then Eric doesn't like his face being done, so we only clip just around his cheek, but we don't clip the top of his face, because I think there's no point stressing them out if they don't like the clippers there. So I like to make the clipping process as stressless as possible. So I actually do all mine without any sedation, unless we really need to sedate them for some reason. And so for this, what I do is I allow at least 2 days for each horse for clipping. So the first day I can just get them roughly clipped to get the pattern all done, and then the second day I'll just go back and touch up. I don't want to be in a rush and sort of running around and forcing to do areas that they don't like, so I just make it sort of a slower process which does take a bit more time, but I'd rather not have to sedate them, especially when you're trying to clip during the season. So to get a horse ready to be clipped, you need to make sure that they're nice and clean, so they haven't got any obvious dirt where you're going to be clipping. Like if you're not going to clip the legs and their legs are a bit muddy, that's not going to matter, but if you're clipping around the body and there's dirt patches all over it, that's going to affect the quality of the clip and also going to affect the blades. So you want to make sure they're nice and clean, don't have any dirt. You ideally don't want them to be wet, so I mean if you're giving them a bath beforehand because they're really dirty, like make sure they're fully dried before you clip them. Yeah, because it's just going to affect the quality of the clip, and will also affect the blades if they've got anything on their skin, dirt, sweat, or they're wet. So just make sure they're nice and clean before you clip them. So during the clipping process of each horse, you need to maintain the quality of your blade. So every 5 to 10 minutes you need to brush off excess hair from in and out of the blades and around, just to make sure that there's nothing stuck around there affecting the cutting. And then you also need to oil. So obviously I've got Lister clipping oil which goes with my clippers, and you're just sort of putting it around the blade and around to make sure the mechanisms are still working nice and smoothly, so you're getting a consistent clip each time. So I just got my Lister clippers off A&S Saturday. I just ordered them online. It does come with clipping oil, but if you run out, you can pick this up. I've seen it at Saturday Warehouse, and I just got mine from our local farmland store. When I start my clipping, I usually just start at the shoulder, and then I'll do sort of this area here. I'll work up and do a little bit of their neck, and then just carry on and do the rest of their body and legs if I'm doing that. And then I'll do the same on the other side, and I always do the head last because I think it then gives them time to settle in to the clippers and get used to them and realize, okay, nothing bad's going to happen, and then they're nice and comfortable by the time I get to their head, rather than trying to rush there first, and then still being a little bit wary of what's happening. And then if they are wary, even at the end, that's why I allow 2 days so I can come back and maybe do their face the second day. So when you are clipping, you want to try and do sort of medium-sized strokes. You don't want to be like taking off tiny little bits of hair every time. But sometimes doing really long strokes too can make it a bit uneven. So just try and get like a medium sort of swipe with the clippers each time, and you're just keeping the clipper flat with the horse's skin and sort of working up to try and get off. And you can always go back over areas which maybe the pressure was different and you didn't quite get enough of the fur off. One other thing I just wanted to say, you need to make sure they're actually fluffy enough to clip. So I've got 2 who aren't quite fluffy enough to clip at the moment, so I've got to wait another couple of weeks, because if they're not fluffy enough, the clippers aren't actually going to take the fur off. So you've got to wait till they're a decent length in their fur, so that you're actually going to get an even clip all over. A good trick if you really want to map out your pattern first is you can get white or brown chalk, depending on the colour of your horse, and sort of draw out the lines of the pattern that you want to follow. I just sort of freestyle a little bit, but I have an idea in my head. But if you really want to know if your first time clipping and you want to make sure you're going to get the pattern you want, you can draw it on, the lines on first, and then sort of just clip inside the lines. So every now and then during the clip, I'll just stop and I'll just give them a little brush over, just to wipe any of those loose clipping hairs off, just so I can sort of see the areas that maybe I need to go back over just a little bit more. And I'm not too worried, like I said, if they're a little bit patchy. This is definitely a bit patchy up here the first day, because I'll go back and fix it up the second. A little trick that I have is I'll generally give them a little feed to eat while I'm clipping them. So, you know, it seems like a good experience. Yum, I'm getting an extra feed. And also, if they are a little bit nervous about getting their neck and head done, it means they're putting their head down and I can reach it without having to stand on anything or having to try and get someone to hold their head down. So, a little bucket of feed, just got some mash in there to make them feel happy about it. So a hard part to clip can be the flank area, because the hair goes in different ways. So when you're clipping, it's the opposite to brushing. So you'd brush sort of down this way with the hair, but when you're clipping, you're going to clip against the grain of the hair to sort of lift up under that hair to get it off. So when you're doing his bum, I'm clipping up this way where I brush down that way. So when you're doing the flank, obviously it's going in different directions. So you're sort of going to clip up to the middle this way, and then you're going to have to come back, clip up to the middle that way. And then I find clipping down, so taking your clippers and clipping down, that just takes off the rest of the hair, because it does go different ways and can be difficult to clip. Tricks for getting it to look the same on each side, oh, thank you buddy, it's just like take your time, so do it over a weekend, and also draw lines. So maybe like measure out how far you're going to come, and then so you can draw the lines exactly the same on each side to try and get it even. But I mean, don't panic too much, nobody's ever looking at both sides at the same. So Enzo's clip's definitely a little bit unusual to what you'd normally see, but for those of you who don't know Enzo, he doesn't, oh he's walking away, very helpful, doesn't like his face being clipped, doesn't like his belly being clipped, but he gets ridiculously fluffy during winter, so like really fluffy. So we need to get some of this fluff off. So basically just took the middle section off, which is going to be covered by his rug, where he'll keep nice and warm. Doesn't like his head being done, but that's okay, because that bit's going to be exposed to the elements, and so are his legs, so we haven't clipped those. So legs, belly and face have not been clipped because he's not a fan, and we've just clipped the middle section where he's going to be protected by his rug anyway. So Enzo's all done. I've got a giant pile of hair on the floor and he's ready to go out to the paddock. So things you need to watch out for is once they are clipped, they can be more sensitive to girth rubs, spur marks, just because there isn't that hair. And also, so I've clipped down the back of the legs, and so if you're clipping the legs or you clip down the back of the legs, boot rub. So you don't have that fur to sort of protect that area, so just be a little cautious with that. Also, and I made this mistake last year, if you've clipped a horse for the first time, just be careful hopping on it once you've clipped it, because they can be more sensitive to the gear. So obviously Enzo's been clipped many times before, so I could hop on him now and there wouldn't be a problem. But say it was his first clip, I saddled him up, he might be a bit more sensitive to my leg, to the girth, to feeling that saddle pressure on him, saddle cloth on his back. So you've just got to be careful to make sure that they're okay. Oh, now he's sneaking into the tack room. To make sure that they're not going to do anything silly. So I'm just clipping Eric, and another little tip I thought of is so sensitive area, so Eric's sensitive here. What I'll do first before I put the clippers on is also, see he's already, because I'll rub my hand over the area and then I'll follow with the clipper. So you're not just sort of suddenly arriving to the area with the clipper. You know, I'll rub my hand over so that he knows that it's coming, and then I'll bring the clipper in to clip him, just to make him feel a little bit more comfortable. And he's going to feed too. Just make sure he stands nice and still, which is generally hard for Eric. Just a safety note, so when you're clipping under the belly area, always keep an eye on what the hind legs are doing. You know, if it's resting his hind leg, you might be somewhere where it's a little bit sensitive, because this is quite a sensitive area. So just keep an eye on what the hind legs are doing, so you can move out the way or stop if you're getting too irritating. And like if they're getting a bit annoyed, just come back up, tidy up a bit here, move on, do the front legs, do the neck or something, and then come back. Don't try and force it to get all of this clipped off in one go. So done, he's just getting a feed, so he's a good boy. So pretty much a full clip, did all of his body, and then I clipped down the back of his legs, and then as I said, he doesn't like a space, so we just clipped as best we could down the side there, but I can't do the front or anything. I didn't clip his legs because we don't have any shows, but if it was like a competition, like the 3-day coming up, I definitely fully clip his leg, because I think it just looks sleeker, and it's kind of like all one colour, because his clip colour is a bit lighter than his leg colour. But he's all done, and he's happily eating his food because he's so happy that he's not a fan. So today I was clipping Revo and Alfie, who's just eating some hay and they're waiting. So Revo's all done, and he was so good. Hello Revo. So same clip as Eric, I did his whole body, and I left his leg and just clipped down the side of his face. So Revo's only 5, and I wasn't don't go in the tack room. I wasn't sure how I was going to go because he kind of been clipped too many times before. But he was so good, he let me do right up to his face and around his ears, and the only problem we had is he kept trying to eat the clippers while I was doing around his face, which was a bit annoying, but wasn't scared at all. So he's all done, and now I'll move on to doing Alfie. Right, that's Alfie done as well. Same clippers, Revo and Eric. So kept the legs, just clip down the back, and then clip down the side of their face. Alfie's 6, and he's such a good boy. I wasn't sure how he was gonna be, because I haven't clipped him or Revo before, but no, he was very chilled out, wasn't bothered at all about being around his face, just ate his hay the whole time. And yeah, very, very pleased. So no sedation, I didn't use any sedation for either of those two, and they were nice and calm. And yeah, weren't bothered at all, and didn't really have any areas they were ticklish or worried about. So no, very pleased. Good boy, Alfie. So Dexter's all done, similar clip to Eric, Revo and Alf, fully clipped his body, just clipped down the side of his face, clipped down the backs of his legs, and I also clip his white bits. So I just clip the white socks, because I find it helps prevent any mud rash. But he's all done, looking good, and nice and shiny. He's very easy to clip. You can clip the front of his face if you want, but I usually leave it on. He doesn't need it clipped. Daffy is all done. It's the second time being clipped. So the first time was last year, and she's really funny because she wasn't bothered by the noise or anything. It was actually the feeling of the clippers on her skin and everything coming off. So obviously this is my favourite clip this year. It's just clipping down the side of the face, down the back of the legs, but leaving the legs on, but doing the whole body. So same clip as basically very nice except Enzo. And for those of you who don't know Daphne very well, she has all these black and white flecks, black and white spots and flecks on her, and when you clip her they come out more obvious, like this one. Looks like I've painted it on. So she's a bit spotty, but nice and shiny. Very beautiful, I like it. So thanks for watching today's video. If I've forgotten to mention anything or you have any questions about clipping, around clipping, just leave them in the comments below, or you can message me and I can answer those, put up a little video if I forgot to add something. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel so you can keep up with other videos coming up on our page.